couple of things. Just some food for thought. I think that's the right way to say that. So this class is in preparation for the next class that comes after it. So which is pre-calc. Pre-calc, the expectation in pre-calc is you have to have an A or a B for your semester grades in here. Okay? Now, if you're like, dude, that's not good. I just need you to know that this class has 8 A's, 7 B's, 12 C's. Of those 12 C's, 5 of them are 79% or higher. Let's go.
I have an A.
And 1 D.
Oh.
Olivia.
I have an A in here.
No, I made it a D. It makes the story better. So what my point is on this, of the A's and B's and the 5 almost B's, that's pretty good. Now, if you're sitting there saying, well, dude, I have a C and I can't get it up, don't worry, there's other math classes for you. So what you would go into if you got a C or a D in this class, you would go into we have 4 one-semester courses. We have College Algebra, which gets you college credit through CU, which is pretty cool. We have Business Calculus, which is a semester. We have Trigonometry, and then we have Stats. Or statistics classes, say 1 semester. It's not AP stats, no. Other things.
You have to get a B or an
A or B. That's our prerequisite to move on. So what my point is, even the kid who has the D in here, I think the D in here is because there needs to be a test made up. That's all I got. What here, radio? I swear. I got like 5 dudes that haven't made up the test. I understand. I'm just trying to. So what my point is, guys and girls, is there is no reason why we can't have all of you prepared and at least earn a minimum of a B in this class for a semester. Okay? Now, when I say that, just realize there's things that are in place that should be able to help move up a grade quicker.
Yeah.
Like that capstone test that we will probably take in 2 weeks. Okay? If you it's going in as a test score, so you're expected to get a 70% on it. So that's what we're saying. Getting a 70%. If you get above a 70%, that's all extra credit. That goes into the test category. That's good. Okay? So, that's what we're trying to focus on. Good? Everyone happy?
Yeah.
Anyone sad?
Me.
No.
You are?
My Uncrustables tasted terrible.
Okay. All right. So, we have everybody in the room. This is recorded. Make sure Biscuits and Gravy doesn't walk out. So, I got to go here. I'm sorry I got to go here. It's not really your all fault. It's actually 8th period's fault, but I had to go here. So, and it's because I suck as a teacher, and I'm sorry. And my discipline plan sucks.
Don't say
and I'm
that.
sorry. I'm just
Don't say that.
But, I'm not going to change who I am. I'm me. I mean, I say the wrong things at the wrong time. I offend people. That's how I am. But a few things that I just wanted to put so 8th period doesn't think I'm just picking on them, because then I get 30 phone calls going, it's not fair, you didn't make fun of 3rd period. But
They do that?
I do sometimes sense that we as a class are talking too often, and then we're getting off task with it. Now, don't get me wrong. I still want to give you the little love stories and the fun stories and things like that, but we need to bring back type of phrase or something like that. Like if I start singing or something like that, maybe you just pause and film me or something. But then another thing I'm starting to see a lot more cell phones. And I know I have that Jim Dandy over there. And I know that people don't like that because then you forget it. And then you look at me like, with devil eyes when you forgot your cell phone and you had to walk all the way back from the east to get it. So I don't really want to necessarily use that. I reserve that for my freshman kids. But then I also noticed there's an awful lot of times there's earbuds or other listening devices that people are using. And I don't know if the music's on or off. It's just comfortable over your ears. If I talk too doggone loud and that's a good buffer for you, I don't know. But I guess what I'm saying is I know that I am teaching. I just don't know if everyone is able to get what I'm teaching because either they are doing other things or the other things that people are doing around them is obstructing you from hearing me. So that's all I got to say. And again, I'm not trying to change the world. Well, I am a little bit. The better I teach y'all, the better my retirement. So it's all about me. So, and then I just talked about next year and where you're at. So this quiz on Monday, I think you're going to do very well with it. And I'm reserving today and tomorrow as what is today? Wednesday? Okay. Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It feels like Thursday.
I know. So I will today and tomorrow are mainly nuts and bolts of review. Friday I'm going to have a small lecture. Don't worry, it's not going to screw you up on the test. And then the rest of it will be a review. And then Monday we do the quiz. Part of it's on the computer, and the other part is pencil paper. And I think it's good. But that's all I have to say about that. Sound good? My goal is that everyone does well on this test. Cooper, what are we doing? We have a test here? Yeah? You keep reminding me what we're doing, and I don't remember. I'm sorry, I act like you're my wife talking to me, so I just, ignore me.
It says it's up to Grant. Grant wants me to do it with him, and I said,
no,
Grant?
What?
So Grant says he picks it.
I thought you told me tomorrow during the day.
Oh, that works for me.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you got to come into this room. A bunch of freshmen. Hey, so the homework, I have been told, some of you are printing stuff off Schoology, which is fine by me. And so the Schoology and the workbook seem to be a page off for some reason. I don't know why. So if you get goofed up. So we're looking at 6E. That was what last night's assignment was. Was there any questions on the front page? Yeah.
Oh, it's not the front page.
Anything on the front page that we should take a look at?
Oh my God.
Are you feel good about combining terms, or you get you stuck? Good. All right. Everyone's good with the combining terms?
I know. I'm on 5U.
I need one column.
Okay. And then the distributing and combining terms. So, in standard form, all that means is you're writing from highest exponent to lowest exponent. Okay, so let's go to the second page. Go ahead.
Just 28.
28. Okay. Number 28, we got 3x squared minus 5. And then I have x squared plus 2x.
Oh, yeah.
Minus 6.
That's my study.
Minus 5 minus 8. X squared. Okay. So that 3x out front, we're going to leave alone until much later in the problem. So what I'm going to do is I have to recognize that this needs to get factored or FOILed over, distributed over, and this gets distributed over on both of those. So the 3x squared comes down for right now. Then I get minus 5x squared. Looks like I'll combine those. Minus 10x plus 30 minus 5 plus 8x squared. Does that seem okay? I'm just getting rid of the parentheses, distributing it over. Remember to distribute the sign that's with it. Now I have like terms. Yeah. Oh. Okay. So I have these and these for a like term. So I have let's see, 3 minus 5 is negative 2, so it's 6x squared, and then minus 10x plus 25.
Yeah, okay. I just thought that you had to do 3x squared minus 5.
And that's a huge place where people will make errors. But so if you have something, your order of operations would not say add or subtract first, because if you have parentheses, it means you're using the distributive property, which is multiplication. That's first. Yeah. 32. 3, 2? All right. 32. 5x squared minus 17x plus 6. Okay, they want us to factor it. So let's see if we can factor this quickly. Well, I'll talk through it so it won't be as quick. But things that I can guarantee about this right now, if this truly is factorable, that's got to take place. Correct? And then let's use our 80-20 rule. Being I have a positive here, that means both these signs have to be a negative. The reason that's negative, because that would be negative. Let's see if the 80-20 rule or the 90-10 rule will work. Pick the factors of 6 that are closest to each other.
3 and 2.
3 and 2. And let's see if we can plug them in. So if I plug a 2 in here and a 3 in here, I know that that will work for the outsides, but on the insides, that's negative 2, negative 15. Boom, done.
Oh, wicked. Wicked.
Okay, so that 3 and 2, sometimes it might have to flip-flop them, but you just have to double-check it. Yeah. 30?
33.
30 and then 33. I have 7x squared minus 63. I have a greatest common factor of 7. Then that's the difference of 2 squares. Done. And then 33 you said?
Yeah.
33, we have 11x squared minus 11. Factor out 11 from both. Then you get to this. That's the difference of 2 squares. Done. Anything else? Yeah. 34. Okay. 34. So I'm going to break this up into x squared. So this is going to work the same factoring method as normal. Being that's a positive, these both have to be negative. And then think of the factors of 36 that would add to 13. So you have 1 and 36, you have 2 and 18, and they both have to be negative. What else do we have? 3 and 12. 4 and 9 works. And those are both difference of 2 squares. So you're going to have x plus 2, x minus 2, and x plus 3, x minus 3. And that's a gotcha problem, because let's face it, when you get down to this point and you factored, you're pretty stoked that it worked out that easy. And if you leave it there, you're missing points. Okay? Anything else from our adventure? Okay, will you make sure your name's on that? Anything else you're passing forward, please?
Cool.
Mr. Stirrup,
Yeah, buddy.
can I actually change it to 8 tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll be in my other algebra class. Actually, we go across and pick those up real quick for me. Thank you. Yeah, I have Algebra 1 and Algebra 2. I had the low version Algebra 1 CP.
What are you doing with those, Drew?
And then I have you guys for accelerated Algebra 2.
Where will you be 8th period?
Across the hallway.
Okay.
Mr. Mattis-Ritz's room.
546.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
All right, Cooper.
All right.
I'll be there.
Actually studying tonight.
I don't know where this is going.
Yeah. I'm just nervous.
About the test?
Yeah.
Why? You can always retake it
Next year? I don't know if I'm trying to do that though.
You've done that a couple times. It always kills me.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's like, because you get the excitement of a kid going, really?
Yeah, I didn't know chapter 5. I'm actually trying chapter 6.
Well, it's good. This is one of the capstones.
5, I'm sucking.
Five, we can just, not even worry about because, it's.
Yeah, you could just give us
5
100% on
was
the
just
quiz.
like the worst.
5 sucks. Yeah,
5 is just like a bunch of stuff that didn't go together at all. It was just like a humble jumble, like 50 units into one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
it's a humble jumble.
Grant and I are just gonna get 100% anyway. You might as well.
Yeah, you might as well just give us a B.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine. Well, I appreciate you looking out for me on the time.
Yeah, of course.
Exactly. You know
That's
we're
very
gonna get
kind of y'all.
Either way, we're gonna get 100.
What's the hardest unit?
He just wanted
5. Period.
I would say 5 is, yeah. So we're done.
Oh my
Everything else is gravy after this.
All
Alright, so this is gonna require some of you guys,
Oh, what are these notes?
okay? Yeah. So we're starting our review. So we're gonna look at simplify exponential expressions, including ones with negative exponents. So is there anything off of your old notes or your old homework that you would like to take a look at? Or is there something that you would like me to come up with? Come on, look at your notes.
From chapter 6.
Yes. So this says the negative exponents, right? So it's like 6a. Any particular problems off of worksheet 6a that you would like me to take a look at?
When doing synthesis, do you just like bring it down, multiply it, and then add it?
Say what? Oh, we'll get to that. We'll get to it. So if you're looking at 6a, yeah.
Number 14.
14 on 6a. Love it. All right. All right, so number 14, we have 2/5 raised to the first, or -1 raised to the second. What are the gypsies doing here? Jeez.
Don't worry about it.
My goodness.
Why did it always show up like that in class?
I don't know.
See, Mr. Sir, I'm a good student.
All right, so we have a fraction raised to a power raised to a power. So let's deal with the power first. So that means we're going to multiply those. Is that okay?
Yep.
If I multiply those, I'm going to get to -2. That -2 means, let's get rid of the negative exponent. I'm going to flip over the fraction. And I'm just writing down all the steps. Of course, there's some you could do in your head, I'm sure. And then distribute that in. So that's going to lead us to 25/4. Done. And then on this part is, when do we leave it as the exponent number and when do we make that number? I'd say if your number comes to something below 300, make the number. So if you had like 4 to the third, which is 64, make it 64. If you had like 5 to the third, 125, make it 125. Don't leave it like that. Yeah,
But if you were to just leave it as like 5/4.
I'm gonna get you. Yeah, I'm good that you. I'm not too concerned about that. Cool. Yeah. 11. Same page.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What are we working with?
I'm on 6a. So number 11, we have 6 squared over 6 to the -2 times 5 to the first to the -2. All right, I'm going to take care of what's on the bottom first because we have a negative exponent. We also have it grouped with power of a power. So I'm going to bring that here and here. So 6 to the second stays as is for right now. This becomes 6 to the fourth, and then this becomes 5 to the second, or -2. So this is going to want to move up now. And I can do tug of war with that. So I'm going to get 5 squared on top. Tug of war with the 6's, bottom wins by 2. That answer probably would be fine. I'd like you to take it to this. But I mean, if you're so amazed by exponents, I guess leave it as an exponent. What else from 6a would you like to take a speak and look at? Anything else on 6a?
24.
Need to bring this back up. Hang on. So just taking a quick scan. Just took a quick scan of class, not making any names. Just wanted to point that out. All right, I'm sorry, what question was it?
24.
2, 4, same page?
Yeah, on the back side.
On the back side? Cool. So that's the 10x to the third, that one. All right, so we have a negative exponent outside, so that means things are going to get flipped around. So distribute that here, here, and here. So that's 10 to the negative 3, x to the negative 9, y to the negative 15. So everything wants to become a denominator. So you have a placeholder of 1. So you get 10 to the third. It's 1,000 if you do that. X to the 9th, y to the 15th.
Oh, yeah, that's easy.
Yeah. So if you leave it 10 to the third, totally chill. If he's like, dude, that's 1,000, like, get it.
31.
31. Don't worry about that one. You won't see it on test.
29.
29.
Wait, we won't see 31 on test?
Yeah, I'm not going to give you a Pythagorean theorem. That was 29, you said?
Yeah.
X, y to the 9. 3y to the negative 2 times negative 7y over 21x to the 5th. Okay, so quick question. This is always an Algebra 1 question. Is this a negative exponent?
No.
No. So it's just a negative number. So it's not going to move to a denominator, correct? Just wanted to make sure that's good. All right, blessing you. All right, so let's move this up. And I think we could do a lot of stuff in our head. If this moves up, that gives me y to the 11th, and then that y, so I get y to the 12th on top. Is that okay? All right. X's tug of war. Looks like bottom's going to win by 4. Now let's get rid of some of our stuff. So it's going to be a negative because of that. 7 goes into 21 3 times, and then on bottom, so I'm going to get that. So that whole thing's my answer. Make sure you have the negative, looking for the negative on the answer. And I've noticed this in students. Let's see what can I do. They do this. So you know, like if you're not sure there's negatives and you have a really light negative, it's like partially erased.
That's like me.
It's kind of like the student that does this. You know, no, dude. Oh, you got that wrong. No, see, it's an F. Well, why do the rest of your Fs look like this? Oh, because I just changed it. Okay. So be confident in your information. Don't.
Could you do
Every
30?
time I'm confident, I get
Just
that.
show up. That was confusing. Just to do it again.
Are you sure it's a negative exponent?
30.
That was bad. It was funny.
It goes up.
What did I do?
It goes up.
No, Parker.
If there's a negative exponent in the it goes down. It goes down.
Where if it's a negative exponent, it switches from where its location is. So if it's on the bottom, it would move up. If it's on the top, it would move down. Okay. All right. So no negative exponents up here. Yes.
Yeah.
Things I could do. I could say I can make that. Cool. So I have a 10 on top so far. Looks like I can do tug of war with y's. Who wins, top or bottom?
Top by 4.
Top by 4. Love it. Tug of war with the x's. Who wins, top or bottom? Top by how many?
11.
Close.
10.
10. Because that's an x to the first two.
I didn't see that.
That makes sense? So there's nothing in the denominator. I mean, I guess 1's in the denominator.
That makes a lot more sense.
I'm going to try one thing.
Why does it cancel that? Because they're just going to I didn't know what to describe. I don't know. That's cute.
The top part's blurry. The bottom part's not. or are my glasses screwed up? You all can have fun with it right now. Is the top kind of fuzzy?
Yeah.
And then it gets clear on the bottom?
Yeah.
No. Actually, yeah, no.
No, you definitely.
Now you can mess with me. No, the
I
bottom's
definitely
totally
see that.
blurry and the top's clear as a bell. Oh my
The
god.
whole thing
Yeah,
is clear.
The whole thing's a little.
The whole thing is
You're
blind.
Jesus. Are you?
You're
so. I can never tell if you're actually having a good day or not. You're just always kind of mean.
I'm having a really good day.
Guess
Did you
what?
not
When I
do the
have a good
board
day,
at
I'm
the
like
start of the
nice.
class?
What'd I do?
So,
Oh,
actually,
let me
that's
tell
not
you.
excited. What?
Sorry, I just want to play a video game. All right. Can we move off 6A or does anyone still need anything?
Let's move.
Okay. So let's take a
Are
look.
you
Go
gonna
back.
snitch on me?
Go back to the beginning. All right. So worksheet 6A is definitely something we need to take a look at. Just please know that if you look at 6A this evening, there's a problem on there that's sticking out going, dude, let's do it tomorrow, okay? Identify the roots for factored polynomial and then sketch the graph of the polynomial. So what are the roots? What's really the meaning of that?
X to the third.
Yeah, where it crosses the x-axis. If it bounces off the x-axis, is that a root?
No.
Yes, it is. So the bounce, wiggle, and root and cross all have to do with the x-intercept. So let's take a look at B. And this is identify roots factored polynomial. So I'd say worksheet B, I would be looking at number 19, 20, 21, 22. If that's okay. Are there any of those that you would like to see? 6B.
About 25. I'd like to see.
25? Well, I said 19 through 22, but
Oh.
Just those.
25, just so you know, it's fifth degree, highest exponent. And it's going to look like that for the end behaviors. So as you go that way, it goes to negative or positive infinity. As you go that way, it goes to.
So for those questions, you just like think of what it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good.
That's
Yeah,
it.
let's do 17.
Okay.
Do 6.
We should do one.
Well, I was looking for that 19 through 22, and you guys just keep, shooting all around those.
20.
20, thank you. All right, so number 20. Number 20. If you were to be given this without a calculator, there's a few things that you should know. Okay? What do you know about the end behavior and match the polynomial to its graph? Okay, so this is a parabola, yes? Because it's raised to the second power?
Yeah.
So what does the graph have to look like on a parabola with a negative x squared?
Negative.
Yeah, it's doing that, right? That's really all you have to know. Does the end behavior there both go to negative infinity then? To the right and to the left is both to negative infinity because it's going down?
No.
So like on the test, are we gonna have to find like?
As I go that way to positive infinity, it goes to negative infinity. As I go this way to negative infinity, this goes to negative infinity as well. That's what we're looking at for the end. Okay? 17 you want to see. That's a good one. We will definitely see that type of problem. Remember, that's one of those where you all want to do it your way, which is fine. But unfortunately, if you do it your way, you're going to miss some points. And what's your way? Well, I'm just going to plug that in. Okay, good. I'm actually testing to see if you can do synthetic division. Okay, so a few things we have to remember: synthetic division. We need to make sure we step all the way down with our numbers. So I have x to the third, x to the second, x to the first. I'm missing x to the 0, which that means that would be a plus 0 right there. Is that okay? So this 3 comes out front. And then I'm going to put each of my lead coefficients as long as I'm in order. And then bring it down, first move. That gives me negative 12. negative 10, that's negative 30, that's negative 24, negative 76, negative 76. That's my answer. Any questions about that?
So you just bring it down, multiply it, and then add it.
Bring it down, multiply the outsides, and then you just keep adding or combining the columns. So all you're doing, so that comes down, you combine those, that's where you get the negative 10, then you multiply that, combine those, that's where you get the negative 24, multiply those.
Oh, wicked. Yeah.
Let's forget that. That's all you're done. But the big error on that is if I had something like x to the 4th, and then the next step down was x to the 2nd, I have to have a placeholder for x to the 3rd, which is 0. Yeah.
Wait, so
It's negative 72? Oh, it is. Yeah, it is. That's supposed to be a 72. But I can't do math. Sorry. Sniffing glue too much.
Aren't we all sniffing a little too much glue?
How did I sniff glue?
No.
All right. Do you want me to make up just a total arbitrary one?
Yeah.
So it's going to get nasty. I'm sorry. And if you have a calculator, you got to help me. Okay. So let's say we had 5x to the 5th minus 2x to the 3rd plus 5x squared plus 2x plus 6. And I want to divide by that. All right, so item 1, is it fluid all the way down, or am I missing something? What am I missing? X to the 4. So what am I putting in place? 0. So I have to make sure I put the 0 in there. So I'm going to divide by the 1. So I have 5, 0, negative 2, 5, 2, and 6. And because I made this up off the cuff, it's going to be ugly, and I apologize.
It's all right.
All right, bring it down, right? 5 times 1 is 5. Combine those. What do I get when I combine those?
A number.
5. A number. Good. 5 times 1 is 5. Combine those. What number do I get?
3.
3. 3 times 1 is 3. If I combine those, what do I get? 8. 8 times 1 is 8. If I combine these, what do I get? 10. 10 times 1 is?
1.
If I combine these together, I get?
16.
Oh, that one wasn't bad at all. I got lucky. So my answer to this would be 16.
Light work, as Cooper would say. Light work.
So the big thing to remember here is you have to remember that placeholder has to be there. Okay?
So there's where it's not
light
fluid,
word.
you
So, like,
put the 0.
What's that?
Where it's not fluid, you put the 0.
Just placeholder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, well, the ones that have like 5x to the 5th, and then like x to the 1st, you just have a bunch of zeros.
Yeah. So if I had this, and let's say I'm dividing by x equals negative 6. Negative 6 is here. So I get 5 to the 4th, to the 3rd, to the 2nd, 1st. That's how it would look. Yeah, because x to the 4th we're missing, x to the 3rd we're missing, x to the 2nd, and then x to the 1st. So this came with the x to the 5th. This would have gone with x to the 4th, x to the 3rd, x to the 2nd, x, and then this is actually technically x to the 0, because that would be x to the 1st. Okay? And that's actually nice when that happens because it can't get real nasty on you, right? Never mind.
Yeah.
That's negative 30. All right, we're up to 180 already.
1,000.
All right, now I'm done. I don't want to do anymore.
It's the leading coefficient.
Holy cow.
I was like, oh my god. It was just like,
We got cow.
everything just went
Okay, so
so
you see
right.
how
What'd I do?
Oh, just
you put
everything's
that on
going
the
right.
left
It's
side,
good.
and this you put
All right. So, an activity we did not necessarily do, but let's take a look at it. It's the worksheet that says bounce, wiggle, cross activity. Okay, don't worry, you're not subjected to doing poorly on it. But let's take a look at the second page. The second page is on page 164 if you're in the workbook. If you copied it off Schoology, maybe it's off. All right, so a few things I want to do. So I'm just going to look at the first one. Okay, just by looking at this, do we have crossing, a wiggle, or a bounce? Two bounces? I like two bounces. Everyone else like two bounces?
Yeah.
Why is there two bounces? What sticks out to make the bounces?
X to the second.
Yeah, that and that create the bounces. So we have two bounces in here.
You have 1
Okay.
at plus 1 and 1 at minus 1.
Cool, so if I ask for the roots, I'd have 1 and I'd have -1. Agree?
Yeah.
This would create what's called a bounce. But there's a term that you might see and you're like, oh my gosh, this is going to be impossible. But the thing that you might see, it's called multiplicity. Okay, and that's like this really huge word. I'm sure I spelt it incorrectly because I have like 7 I's that I used to spell it. Okay, you want to know what multiplicity is? What exponent is this raised to? What exponent is this raised to? 2. What exponent is this raised to? 2. Done. You're like, dude, that's the hardest thing ever.
Wait.
Multiplicity just means your grouped thing, what exponent was raised to. That's just all it means. Okay, so let's see if we can graph this. I got +1. I got -1. So remember my bounce, I kind of made a dot with a second dot. My end behaviors, this is going to kind of look like this. So I'm going to go bounce, bounce, done. That's it. That's it. Man, oh man, oh man. What else on that bounce wiggle, mainly from 164, 165, would you like to take a look at? Happy to do any of them. Probably got time to
Do y equals x minus 1 to the third.
x minus 1 to the third. And
This is my
x plus 1 to the third. That,
Plus 1 to the third.
that has the 2/3.
That's just a wiggle, right? Or
Yeah, that it's 2 wiggles.
2 wiggles.
Wiggle. All right,
Oh,
so
well, you're not gonna get that. Sorry. If I find a pencil.
What does that look like on the graph?
I'm going to do the best I can to show you. All right, first off, we have to realize that this would be x to the 6th, which is going to look like this. Is that okay? Is anyone stuck on how I got that? Nah. Okay? If it was a negative out front, it'd be going down. Okay, basically what I did is I just said that would become x to the 3rd if I multiply this whole thing out. X to the 3rd, x to the 3rd, and x to the 3rd becomes x to the 6th when you're multiplying. Good? All right. So this has roots at 1 and -1. It has a wiggle at both. Why is it a wiggle? Because it's raised to the 3rd power or the 5th power or the 7th power. Okay? So does a wiggle go through the x-axis? No, it totally does. It's just kind of like, it's that cool slide where you're like, yeah, baby. Right? All right, so +1, -1, and you remember for the wiggle, I did this. That's like stirrup stuff. So here's your wiggle.
Just serves.
That's what it looks like. Hey, it looks like a face.
Okay.
All right. So for tomorrow, I gotta find out where it's at because we're almost done with today. Yes.
We need 6F.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna teach 6F on Friday. Okay.
So no whole part.
No. And then what I'd like us to do, I would like us to do worksheet 6G, which says it's the review of the polynomials. Yeah.
Wait, so if it's positive to the positive exponent, then it's a bounce. If it's to the odd, then it's like a wiggle. But if it's to the 1, then it's a cross.
Yep. That you nailed it. Yeah.
So I will be here Friday or Monday.
Okay.
So is it